Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Undiluted Tech. And today we're gonna be looking into integrating Okta and AWS. So let's get started. First, you need an AWS account and the Okta account. I'm using the developer's account because right now it's just for testing purposes and tutorials. So let's get started. When I start going to my AWS account, right here, and then enter your account ID or log in as your IAM user. This tip, you can fast forward. Now enter your account ID, click next, enter your IAM user. Remember to always use MFA. Once you're logged in, you're first gonna create a Cognito user pool. And how we do that, just search Cognito and click on Cognito. Manage user pools. Right now I don't have any user pools, so I'll go ahead and create a user pool. Obviously, you need a name for it. So I'm gonna call this share dash and then click review to skip all the steps. By default, email is the attribute that is matched to it. So you can scroll down here and click create app. But instead of doing that, first of all, let's go create a app client. So I want to name this disable the generate client secret because something to do with TLS. I forgot what it is, but just disable that for now. And then go ahead and create app. All right, once that's done, come to attributes. Make sure everything there is good. All right, now go to review again. Scroll down, create your app. Now, if you mess up creating your user pool, especially when it comes to attributes, as you can see, there's no way of editing this. So what you have to do is create a new user pool and do a user migration using like user migration lambda or something. But that's a story for a different day. Anyways, let's go to app client settings. As you can see, there's a Cognito. We're gonna add our URL here, which I like to do my website because I don't have an app. So Undiluted Tech. If you have a standard URL that you want your users to be directed, you can send them there. For now, I'll select both authorization grant and implicit grant. For auth scope, I'll take email. I'll do OpenID, profile, and AWS Cognito sign-in.user admin in case I need to do something in the command line. So once you get those done, go ahead and click Save Changes. Go to the domain. Use your domain. So in our case, I'm gonna go share dash CW. Make sure that your domain is available so you can click check, and it is. Go ahead and click Save Changes. All right, I think that's it. So there's nothing else to do on this over here. You're gonna need this app client ID, so make sure you know what this is, and also you're gonna need your pool ID for later. So since that's done, let's jump over to Okta. We are at Okta now, and let's sign in. This is my dash. I have about Nothing really. So what you need to do here is come over here to applications, click on applications, and then create app integration. So go ahead and click create app integration, and we're doing SAML. So I'm going to select SAML, click next, and then our name for the application, I will call this shared dash. Okay, so if you have a logo, you can add it. Since I don't have one, I won't. Click on next. For the sign-in URL, or for the single sign-on URL, here you need this URL, which is your here you need the URL, which is your Cognito domain URL. Only that at the end you have /samo2/idp response, and then for your audience, it's a Cognito earn, not the ARN, but the Cognito earn. So how you get the earn is you put in URN at Amazon, and then the service name, and then the service, since it's a service provider, SP, and then you need to go back over here and get your pool ID. You're doing this in USS2, so I'll copy that, go back to my Okta, and paste that over there. So that is looking good. I'm not going to add any default real estate. However, I will change the name ID format, because if I don't do this right here, it's going to have an issue with Cognito later on, and we don't want that. So instead of unspecified, I'll put email address. For Okta username, you can just stick with email. So email, that's good. Then you scroll down for the name attribute, which this is optional. You want to paste this samo2 email claim. And I'll put all these links in the description, or these commands, or you can go to the website and take a look at the tutorial. For the name format, you want to go with, we'll just leave that as an unspecified, but we need to go with user.name for the value. You can add group attributes if you want. You can preview the SAML session that we just created, but let's go ahead and click next. And here you can select whether you want Okta to do whatever, contact you or give you advice. I'm gonna go ahead and just click finish for now. All right, now I'll just select this one and then just click finish. So now the configuration is done. This is our metadata right here. We're gonna need this for later. If you want to view instructions, you can, but we need to assign users to this application. So let's head over to assignments and click on assignment. Now I do have a group already here, and that group has users. And that group has users in it. I have a group called Cognito and everyone for every user in my app, but we're gonna go to the group that I assigned the name Cognito. So click over there, assign, and then click done, and my users in that group are gonna be populated. Okay, so let's go back to single sign-on and right click on this one and copy the link address. Once you copy the link or download the metadata, we are going to use that to create an Idp In Cognito. So keep in mind, that's what we're going to use. How you want to download it, you can actually right click this and open in a new tab. And in this tab, you can come over here. If you're using Chrome, this is the best option to use. I've tried Firefox, it doesn't work that well. But with Chrome, just come over here, go to More Tools, and Save Pages. And we're going to save as metadata, and this will go to our downloads. So I'll click on Save. So that's how you save your metadata if you want to go that way. Otherwise, just right clicking and copying the link address works just fine. So now let's move to Cognito. Scroll down to Federation. Under Identity Providers, click on Identity Providers. So you can create an IDP using one of these that are pre-configured for you if you're using Google, Facebook, Apple, or OpenID, but we're using SAML. So we're going to go ahead and click on SAML and provide our link here. You can paste it. So if you download the metadata, you can just upload it here and it will populate it for you. And for the name, you need one. So we're going to call this Okta. And then if you want to enable IDP sign-up flow, you can. We can create provider. Now you have your IDP set. Now it's time to set if our application works. So scroll up. The easiest way is to use hosted UI, or you can construct your own login. I'll leave the documentation on how you can construct yours from Cognito documentation, but for the sake of time, let's just use the hosted UI. So you want to select all Cognito and Okta users. Scroll down. First of all, save the changes. And let's click on hosted UI. And now as you can see, if you have native Cognito users, they can log in through here. Or you can just use your Okta. And it seems to have an issue. And let's see what the issue is. So looking at this URL, we can spot our mistake. So we've added our domain, but the region part says region. So Cognito doesn't understand what this is. So what we need to do is go back to Okta. And actually, let's come over here. And just make sure we copy that. Go back to Okta and edit. Actually, I think we have to redo this. Oh no, we can edit our SAML here. Click on next. Now region, let's replace that with US2. Name ID format, mail. Everything looks good. So let's click next. There is a space here, so let's back that down. Let's try this time. This time it goes through. Click on finish. We have to redo our authentication again, or IDP. Right click, copy link address, go back to Cognito, IDP providers, SAML, delete this one, name it Okta again, create. Alright, since that's created, there's one thing we missed from last time, and that's attribute mappings. So let's go to attribute mappings and add an attribute. Remember this claim for email address. So let's select email, click on save changes, go back to users and groups, actually app client, select all, everything else stays, save changes. Let's give it a shot this time. Okay, so let's see if this works. Click on Okta. Well, you're seeing the Okta dash, and there you go. Now, one thing it didn't do was ask me for my password and stuff. So let's see if we can log in as a different user. Let's go to I don't have a user created yet, so since we're logged into Okta over here, it's going ahead and logging us in. But if I log out of Okta, okay, and log out of that, move that. So we only have that. Actually, let's even move that. And let's just use Cognito. So let's try it again. Click on Okta. There you go. You have to enter your username and password. So I forgot my username and password, but you get the point. Once you log in, then you'll be able to go ahead and access your application. Now, so that's it. I want to follow up this tutorial with another one called sharing dashboards with CloudWatch. So if you're interested in that one, make sure you subscribe and head over to our Patreon page and see the rest of the video. Yep, I will continue the rest of this and share it on our Patreon page. Just to support the channel. I don't have a lot of users, so I don't get paid. I'm not looking to get paid, but it's good to see some kickback. So if you want to see the rest of this, head on our Patreon page and watch the rest of it. Thank you and peace out. May Yeshua bless you.